Good afternoon. It's a rainy Tuesday afternoon here in Iloilo City, and we're back with the Ranger Chronicles. My name is Manuel Boy Mejorada, and this time I'm doing this broadcast in English because I got feedback that there are many Filipinos here and abroad who could not understand Hiligaynon, and they have asked me to do this in English or Tagalog. Well, I have difficulty doing this in Tagalog because my Tagalog is not so good. So I might as well do this in English. Now, the entire nation is now uploading with the news that President Rodrigo Roa Duterte has revoked the amnesty granted to Senator Antonio Trillanes 8 years ago. Because I think the amnesty granted to him came out in October 2010 by then President Benigno Simio III or Noynoy Aquino. And at that time, Trillanes was detained without bail, was being held without bail in a jail because of his involvement in the Oakwood mutiny uprising, and then the takeover of the Manila Peninsula Hotel shortly afterwards, as he and other Magdalog leaders were attending a hearing on their petition for bail. What they did was they went out of the court in Makati and marched towards the Manila Peninsula and took over the Manila Peninsula until, of course, they were forced out by the assaulting team of the Philippine National Police a few days after. So because of that, Trillanes was held without bail, but then he ran and won as a senator in 2007. But because he was being held without bail, he was not allowed to attend sessions. In fact, he did petition the Supreme Court, or rather the Makati Regional Trial Court, to allow him to attend the sessions of the Senate, to conduct public hearings in carrying out his job as a senator, but this petition was turned down. This issue went all the way to the Supreme Court, but then the Supreme Court upheld the ruling of the Makati Regional Trial Court that indeed the evidence against Trillanes for crimes that involved a punishment or penalty of reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment, and this did not carry with it the right to bail. So the Supreme Court said that Trillanes could not be given that privilege to go out of jail and attend the sessions and hearings of the Philippine Senate. So it was only after Noynoy Aquino won as president that in October 2010 he was granted the amnesty. And while he was processing or supposed to process the application for amnesty, he was granted a provisional release from custody. So that's where he comes from. He was granted a provisional release from custody. Now, it turns out that Trillanes was not able to comply with all the requirements for the grant of amnesty, and nobody knew about this. And he continued to serve. He won another term as a senator of the Philippines, and nobody knew that that his amnesty was incomplete. Therefore, it was void ab initio. That means it was not valid right from the start, and its effect is that as if he was never granted amnesty. So what effect does it have on Trillanes? Well, we have now to go back and look at where Trillanes was before the grant of this amnesty, which turned out, as I said, to be void ab initio. It was not valid, so as if it did not exist at all, it did not happen. So its effect is that Trillanes should not have been allowed to go out of jail at the time. So now that President Duterte has revoked his amnesty, it only means one thing, that Trillanes will now have to go back to jail. Now the funny thing is that Trillanes is hiding under the skirt of the Philippine Senate. No, he has this habit of hiding under the skirt of his mother, and this time it's the Senate where he is hiding to avoid being arrested, because today agents or officers of the Philippine National Police and the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group were already at the Senate, are ready to handcuff Trillanes once he comes out. But Trillanes has sought the protection and the custody of the Senate. Apparently he asked Senate President Tito Soto to place him under the protective custody of the Senate, so that he would not be arrested, and he will now have to stay there for the next few days until it becomes clear that indeed the amnesty under which he obtained his liberty, he won back his liberty, was not valid. Was not valid in the first place, and he should be going back to jail. So the funny thing, as I said, is that if you only listen to Trillanes, he sounded as if he feared no one. He did not fear being brought back to jail. But look at him this time. He is literally trembling. Although he doesn't show it, but I know that he is trembling in fear because he knows that he will have to stay in jail for a long, long time because the trial will have to resume against him. His other co-accused, I think, were already convicted, and then they applied for amnesty under Noynoy Aquino also at the time. But in the case of Trillanes, it now appears, as this has been investigated by the Duterte administration, the Department of Justice, he did not comply with the requirements. So again, jail is where he now belongs. So this is again Manuel Boy Mejorada for the Ranger Chronicles in Iloilo City. Again, it's raining. You can see the mist at the back or the rear window of my pickup truck. So I hope that the rain will subside or stop soon, and we will not experience flooding in Iloilo City. So have a good day to all. Let's join our hands, clap and applaud this revocation of the amnesty. This will put Trillanes where he belongs, and that is in jail. Thank you and good day.